Today we are here at Magic Kingdom to try and ride Tiana Bayou Adventure, Disney World's brand new ride. And we're going to go ahead and check out the queue, try to ride the ride, and see if it's good. So let's go ahead and have a great day adventure. Now, before we head over to the ride, let me discuss some history with Tiana Bayou Adventure. Now, back then, there was Splash Mountain, a log flume ride that opened back in 1992. And for over 20 years has become a classic attraction at Magic Kingdom. However, over the years, there was one controversy, and that was the fact that the ride was based off of Song of South. And it wasn't until 2020 when Disney did announce that Splash Mountain would be replaced with Tiana Bayou Adventure. Around 2023, Disney then officially closed Splash Mountain, and for the next 18 months or so, worked on Tiana Bayou Adventure, where Tiana Bayou Adventure will be officially opening on June 28th, 2024. Now, right now, there is technical rehearsals, meaning that it is basically previews for media, annual pass holders, Disney Vacation Club members, and today is a day where annual pass holders can preview Tiana Bayou Adventure. I should state this right now, there is potentially going to be some technical difficulties since they're still testing the ride with public guests, and there's also going to be rain since it is getting to be that time of year where it's going to be raining a lot, so expect some downtime if you are heading out here. But when it comes to Tiana Bayou Adventure, this is a ride I have been waiting for, and I can't wait to ride it, especially with all of the good reviews that's been coming out. But I can't wait to ride this ride, so how about we go ahead and see where Tiana Bayou Adventure is. Now, before we actually discuss the ride, let's discuss one thing that will determine if you will actually get on Tiana Bayou Adventure or not, and that is the virtual queue. Now, there's going to be two ways you can get through Tiana Bayou Adventure. Number one is the virtual queue, where you can get it at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. And I highly recommend getting it as soon as possible, especially using the world clock. And I'll start refreshing around 30 seconds to a minute before virtual queue time comes. And there's also Lightning Lane. No, not individual Lightning Lane, because if you're going on Tiana Bayou Adventure, if you want to do that G+, you can actually get on through the regular Lightning Lane. So there's no need to purchase an individual Lightning Lane. And I think right now, when it comes to Tiana Bayou Adventure, since our time is for later on, since we're at group 90, I think we should go ahead and discuss what's here at Tiana Bayou Adventure. Now, of course, when it comes to Tiana Bayou Adventure, there is many questions about the ride. So let's start off with question number one. Where is Tiana Bayou Adventure located? Well, it is located here at Magic Kingdom Park, as it is located inside of Frontierland, nearby Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Next question, what is the ride about? Well, the ride storyline focuses on you heading inside Tiana's food, and tonight is the big Mardi Gras celebration. However, Tiana needs to still find a band. So you join Tiana and Louis on an adventure into the bayou where you try to find a band before tonight's Mardi Gras celebration. Now, question number three, do you need to see the movie? Yes. When it comes to Tiana Bayou Adventure, this acts as a continuation of Princess and Frog. And in order to understand some of it, I would definitely recommend watching the movie. As for our next question, how tall is the drop? Well, the drop is 52.5 feet tall. Next question is, what characters will you see on the ride? There is plenty of characters to see, from Tiana, Naveen, Charlotte, Louis, Mama Odie, and so much more. And a little fun fact, when it comes to the original voice actors, all of them reprised their roles for this ride. Now, when it comes to Tiana Bayou Adventure, there is brand new characters inside the attraction. For example, there's the Zydeco Band, which consists of Timoleon the Otter, Apollo the Raccoon, Rufus the Turtle, Bahalia the Beaver, Gritty the Rabbit, and Bo the Possum. There's also the Rah Rah musicians. That includes Octavia the Bobcat, Pawpaw the Bobcat, Claude the Louisiana Black Bear, Bernadette the Louisiana Black Bear, Sebastian the Louisiana Black Bear, and Fina the Gray Fox. And then there's also the band that plays Afro-Cuban music, where there's Felipe the Frog, Myra the Frog, Mondo the Frog, Isabel the Green Tree Frog, as well as Larry the Armadillo. How do you get on the ride? Well, there's only two ways, or actually one way during the previews. However, when the ride officially opens on June 28th, there's going to be virtual queue and Lightning Lane. That means when you get Genie Plus, it'll be part of the ride lineup. So if you are getting Tiana Bayou Adventure, I would recommend getting the ride at 7 a.m. And if you're getting virtual queue, I definitely recommend trying for 7 a.m. And if you don't get it, there's also 1 p.m. time as well. But mainly with the virtual queue, of course, I did have a lot of trouble with it. On Thursday, I had no luck with the 1 p.m. time slot since that didn't even open. But luckily today, it did for me. So I'm very lucky to get it. However, if I had to share some advice, if you're coming to Magic Kingdom for Tiana Bayou Adventure, I'd definitely recommend trying for 7 a.m. And then, last but not least, is there any original music? And yes, with the music, there is special music played inside of the queue with all sorts of New Orleans music. And there's also a brand new original song created by PJ Morton. It's called Special Spice. And I feel like that's going to be one song I cannot get out of my head after this ride. But that is all the questions we have with Tiana Bayou Adventure. I think we should go ahead, wait for the ride to come, and see if we can ride it. And we also have the exterior, and compared to Splash Mountain's exterior, I honestly prefer how this one looks. And it's really cool seeing how they use forced perspective to not make this mountain bigger, but smaller. And they actually use big flowers and trees all around, and it feels like you're going through a bayou. And it's also nice because, as you can see right there, there is two frogs right here looking at the logs going by. And then we also have some lily pads, some flowers, and we also have the Tiana's food tower, where there is the 2 stars of Evangeline and Ray up there. It looks amazing. There's also this shed where it says caretaker only, back in 5 minutes. Then we have a sign for Tiana Bayou Adventure. And if we head all the way down here through the crowd, there's even the big Tiana Bayou Adventure sign with all the lamps inside of the flowers right here. And I'm not gonna lie, I just cannot wait for this one. Oh no, they also brought back the water effect as well. Oh wait, there's also the armadillo down there. Look! Oh, zoom, focus. There's an armadillo right there. Look at that. But around here, there is 2 stores, but we actually have a few hidden details. Like right here, it looks like there is a handmade banjo. We also have some paints. There's also some other ingredients inside there, tools, ladder, and then sign says back after Mardi Gras. Also, this is where Larry the Armadillo supposedly lives as well, so I don't think we should disturb Larry at the moment. Outside of Tiana Bayou Adventure, there's also Critter Co-op, which is not open at the moment. However, it'll have some Tiana Bayou Adventure merchandise inside, such as Mama Odie's hot sauce and some shirts, along with a Firefly light as well that can interact with guests as well. And honestly, when it does open on opening day, it'll be interesting to see inside. Outside window, there is some posters, like for example, Critter Co-op proudly presents the Bayou Community Band. with all sorts of critters and frogs along here. There's also some signs, like for example, there's Firefly Family Sing-Along starring Cousin Randy, 4 Left Paws, beginner dance class sign up inside, a cooking class for Swamp Gumbo, Mardi Claw Ball at Critter Co-op, drummer wanted, house rules, all critters welcome, there's no such thing as a wrong note, dress code swamp casual. Also there's another sign that says found, 1 pair of tap shoes size 243, see Larry to claim. There's also a learn to quilt every Wednesday, pine needles and thread provided. There's also a washboard, and there's also a poster where there's some bands for upcoming shows like Juanitas Verdes, Rufus and the Terrapins, the Bayou Bobcats, Zydeco Rainbow, and Rara Fauna. And at the back corner as well, there is a secondary entrance into Critter Co-op. It looks like everything is shut. Right along here we have a window with all sorts of fruits and vegetables, and there's also a letter from Kitchen of Tiana's Palace. It reads, "Dear Lewis and friends, I hope you enjoy these ingredients and that you always remember what good food does best. It brings folks together. All my love, Tiana." And last but not least, there's also the hot sauce from Tiana's Foods, from roasted pepper, roasted garlic, original, and red chili. And we're going to be called very soon, as right now it is at group 91, and honestly, I cannot wait for this ride. I'm hoping when it comes to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, it's really good. So let's go ahead and head on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. There's also some boxes and crates right nearby the railroad station. And we're now here, so let's go ahead and ride it.
They're the bees knees. I would love for y'all to play my part. I'm asking all of them to play at the party, but we've got to keep searching high and low.
Y'all ready to get down to business? Time to... to the party! You'll get there in no time.
And I just got off of Tiana Bayou Adventure. Now, when it comes to Tiana Bayou Adventure, there's a lot to talk about. Let's start off with the queue, which was pretty good. There are many things throughout, like hidden details, references to Imagineers and Leah Chase, and even some of the backstory of what happened with Tiana and Tiana's food after Princess and Frog. Regarding all details inside, there's a board with the employees referencing Imagineer Charita Carter and Leah Chase, the inspiration for Princess Tiana. There are multiple posters along the first section, with one of those posters for Tiana's foods, pictures with Tiana and her parents, a rabbit, bear, and fox on her desk, and a steamboat, both referencing Splash Mountain. Then we also got a to-do list, which includes references to Leah Chase and Imagineers Carmen Smith and Charita Carter. There's also a missing license plates poster that would later be used as an instrument inside the attraction. There's also a Yaya chair, as an average school program from New Orleans made that chair, celebrating storytelling and culture. There are also 2 framed pieces inside our office, with one of the letters from the bank, one of the letters from Prince Naveen thanking her for truly making him into a prince, and another letter for Princess Tiana's schedule. We also have Tiana's letter, and once upstairs there are also rewards for best hot sauce, best beignets, and more. The queue even has an homage to Tiana's father, and there's even a letter of him handing down the great-grandmother's recipe. Tiana's father's gumbo recipe is also inside. There are many more letters from her mother and some newspapers, including a story about how Tiana's dad died from sacrificing himself and wanting to create a restaurant as a lifelong dream. When we reach the kitchen, there's Tiana's dad's gumbo pot with the smell of beignets inside. There's also the Meals of Maldonia book inside, and on the counter is Tiana's recipe for those man-catching beignets. There are also many pictures of Tiana's life, including her and Naveen's wedding, with Lewis, her mom, winning a dressmaking competition, a letter from her mom saying how proud she is of Tiana, a newspaper about how Tiana and her dad won the award for best gumbo at the Louisiana State Fair, pictures of her and Charlotte as children and adults, and even a story of how Tiana inspired two 6-year-old children to make a garden by volunteering them until they won an award for the largest carrot at a state fair. When it comes to the queue as a whole, the Lang Lang queue will miss the kitchen, and the backstory inside has fewer details, but by the time the standby queue and Lang Lang merged inside the salt mines, there's a TNT storage with hot sauce inside and all sorts of puns. Honestly, the queue feels very lived in, with all sorts of details such as newspaper stories, pictures, and details, along with the added beignets, smells, and New Orleans jazz music that makes the queue feel very welcoming. Now, when it comes to the ride, there's a bunch of things to talk about. First, let's discuss the story. As the story for the most part was fine, the story works for attraction, however it felt a bit rushed, mainly due to the restrictions of the track. When we reached the lift hill, it felt like there's no sense of build up to the drop, but overall the story is mostly fine, as it's very fun. What works is everything else, from design to the incredibly well-made animatronics to even the thrills on this ride. Let's discuss the designs, because this is one of the parts that was an improvement compared to Splash Mountain, where the exterior is beautiful, especially when it comes to the ride during nighttime. Even inside the ride, the designs and theming are incredible, adding to the atmosphere as it's mostly charming and cute. Then there's the animatronics, which is most problematic for the ride since they're so advanced and new, and unfortunately the ride can break down at times. While in the ride, a few, such as the Mama Odie animatronic at the end, were not working, unfortunately. However, it is important to know that this is during the preview and technical rehearsal stage of this ride, and not everything will be working 100%. However, the animatronics were impressive for the most part, whether that's the animatronics for Tiana, Lewis, Critters, or many other characters throughout the ride. And the screens in certain scenes were well used, immersing you into the ride rather than feeling cheap. Then there's also the thrills aspect, as this is the most similar aspect to Splash Mountain that remains, because the ride track is the same, where the drop still exists, and it's a thrilling ride, especially when it comes to the 52.5 foot drop. Last but not least, then there's the music, which is really good. The new original song, Special Spice, was well written and catchy, and of course there's some music from films such as Down in New Orleans, Almost There, and Going Down Bayou, and they're used greatly for the ride. But when it comes to the music overall, it is one of the main highlights of this attraction. Overall, Tiana Bayou Adventure is one of those rides that leaves me wanting to go on it again. This is a fairly overhated attraction. It was fun, cute, charming, and is guaranteed to get you wet. And if you're visiting Magic Kingdom anytime soon, this is going to be a must-do ride when visiting. Overall, though, I think that's going to be a wrap on our adventure here at Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So let me know in the comments, what's your thoughts on the ride itself, and I'd love to know. As always, until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.